How does that work?
It means I'll be able to chat with you tomorrow.
That doesn't make any sense.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
So if anybody types, we can just audibly respond, I suppose.
Well, we tried, we failed, right? That was, we got there quickly though. So that's right. We didn't waste any time getting to the failure. We started right off and failed immediately right into the trash heap.
Yeah.
That's called efficiency. That's
all right.
That's
so
thinking.
How about before we start in full earnest, I'll take a short bathroom break and then I should be good for the show.
Who was Ernest?
I think he went to jail at one point.
He went to jail. He went to camp. He was scared straight. He went to the continent of Africa.
Did they just slingshot him into the sun at some point in time?
It is Thursday, January 18th. This is GameEnthus Podcast, episode 332. This episode is live. There's really no video per se, but it is live. People who are listening to this right this moment can hear, and if you're not listening right this moment, then you weren't there. I don't know, or maybe you listening to it twice because you like us that much.
Maybe you can listen to it now in real time. And then later in 1.75 speed.
I see what you did there. I see what you did. All right, I'm Aaron, one of the hosts here. Mike is here.
That was my voice that just spoke.
Yes, it was. Tiny is supposed to be here, but maybe he had to work late or something. So these things happen. If he joins in, he's always welcome, of course, as a co-host of this show. We're going to jump right in and talk about what we've been up to. Wow. Last time we did a show was December 29th or something like that? The Game of the Year show?
The Game of the Year show, yep.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It was enough hours to fill in multiple episodes.
Yeah, it was like two shows, 5+ hours. It was about 2 shows worth.
Yep.
Or maybe 1 show's worth, depending on how you look at it. It's all relative. So,
well, you cut it into 2 episodes, so technically 2 episodes worth.
Yeah, and the downloads between the 2 weren't off by as much as they were last year, where one was downloaded 25 orders of magnitude more than the other. So, and I'm wondering, somebody hit me up on Twitter and was like, "Yeah, I'm glad that you have the audio cue to say, hey, this is part 2." Because I didn't know. I'm sorry if I'm mentioning that you said that, and I've liked so much stuff since then. I'm always not really good about going back and pulling all those out, which brings me to another point. I was going to ask people if you want to comment on the show, just to help me. If you want to hear, about something you did or said, it makes it easier for me if you just hashtag it. So if you reply any one of us at GameEnthus, at Indifference, at Assault Suit, at Tiny, whoever, if it's a guest. Add the hashtag GameEnthus Podcast. So just hash GENTHUS. There you go. I spelled that right? GENTHUS. Just put GameEnthus Podcast hashtag, and that way I can just search for that, and I'll be able to pull stuff up, and I won't be making things up. Well, so and so said this, or just saying that someone said something. I don't know who it was. If I can, the hashtag, it'll help me.
It's really simple. Just dial 1010-321, then 875, then 911, then the number.
Okay, dial 9, then 1, wait, and then dial 1.
Sorry, This is 912.
So, all right. So we're here. We're doing this live, sort of. So what's going on, man? I see you have mag sickness down here in the outline that no one else can see.
Well, unfortunately, and I'm sure you'll expound on it a little bit more, but I was at more MAGfest than you were.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah. So do you want to kind of get into that now, or?
Yeah, sure. We're here.
So the reason, whatever you'd like to say about why you weren't at much MAGfest.
I wasn't that much at MAGfest because the Monday night, or was it it was Tuesday night, the week of MAGfest, the carbon monoxide alarm went off in my house, and my wife, 3 daughters, we all had to get out of the house, and really didn't return until the following Monday or Tuesday, like Monday night, I think.
That's a long time.
Yeah, so we were gone for about a week. So we stayed at a hotel for 2 days, and then stayed at my cousin who was out of town. So she's like, oh yeah, she's like, just stay there. She's a nice new townhouse, and actually a listener is actually his house as well. So shout out to OJ the Kamikaze. He's married to my cousin. So I stayed at their house. Did not see them, as I said, they were gone. So she opened up her doors, and then some other family friends do the same thing, which is a blessing to have. So we were out of the house. So my wife said to me, was it like Thursday or Friday? She's like, well, we're good. We're warm. The kids have some activities and stuff. So he want to go to MAGfest, on Saturday, feel free. So I was like, great. Because I just pretty much resided to, I'm not going this year. And, it made sense why I wasn't going. So I had a chance to go up Saturday. Didn't say anything to anybody, just kind of showed up Saturday morning. And that was one day, but I made the most out of it. So no complaints.
How did you know what room we were in?
Oh, Tiny actually texted the room in the...
Before you said, take me out of this?
Yeah, before I was like, why don't you why don't you remove me from... Start a new thread without me. So, yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure.
No, that's exactly how it went. So I was like, oh yeah, I went back and was like, yep, that's it. So I figured, let me just show up and see how, So I showed up, and they opened the door and welcomed me in.
Yeah, it was a pleasant surprise on our end. Glad to see that you could at least enjoy a few hours, if not, if you want to call it a full day of MAGfest.
It felt full. I mean, I left at I don't know, midnight, 1, I don't know, something like that.
Sounds about right. So, well, maybe if you didn't achieve the level of disease that I did, maybe not being at MAGfest for so many hours was the key, because I did leave feeling not so hot, and I'm only now starting to really feel pretty much okay. Mm-hmm. Just nothing terrible, just a lingering nuisance, just cold, cough. Just, yeah. So, I don't know. I usually don't get that after these cons. I mean, it may have happened before, but I feel like I'm usually pretty well off. So, I guess it happens to everybody eventually. So, but yeah, MAGfest was cool. I mean, it's always good. We didn't get to stay in the Gaylord this year, so that kind of...
No, we didn't.
It made planning to go to things at MAGfest like you really had to plan in advance, because it was cold.
Yeah, that parking lot that I had made pre-purchase parking for was kind of far. If I'm, granted, I only walked there once and then walked back, but it was not close.
And you pointed out when you came over, there were like 70-year-old people manning that.
Yeah, I pulled up to the wrong parking lot, and there was a woman there. I mean, she had to be at least like 62. And I asked her, I said, oh, how long you been here? Well, I'm doing 10 hours. I'm like, how in the world you can be out here for 10 hours?
Yeah.
She said, well, my husband's over in the other lot. I'm like, good Lord. And I went over there. He looked about 65 plus. So, I mean, they worked it out, but man, I hope they paying y'all something like, giving you a bag full of crappy Game Boy games or something,
One of those grab bags that we're selling down on the show floor.
Here's a bag of half-eaten subs and a slightly used breath mint. Like, this is not... No.
When I picked it up, it was hot, but now it's an ice cube, so here you go.
And I made the mistake of when I got out of and I parked, and I saw people walking like towards the water, thinking, "Okay, maybe there's a path to get over." No, there's no path. I only walked so far. I was like, they don't know where they're going, and I went back the other way.
Yeah,
so.
No shortcuts at MAGfest, unfortunately.
Nope. But good times. A lot of good indie games.
Yeah,
a lot of good stuff to see.
You saw the indie games. I glanced at the indie games.
Yeah, I bet you did.
Yeah, I don't know. I got preoccupied by other things.
Understood.
So, but yeah, it was good. I'll say I've been watching partially because of not feeling all that great, and just because I've had a little bit more time. Been watching a few things on Netflix, and one of them is I never even knew about this until pretty recently, but Mr. Show, which I had talked about last year and watched all of that, which is now 20 years old. Two or so years ago, Bob Odenkirk and David Cross got together again with most of the people from that show and did a 4-episode Netflix series called With Bob and David. And it's almost identical. Very little about it feels any different other than they all look older. But it's a sketch comedy thing, and they pull it off. It's like it feels like they're right back in the same crazy like nonsense skits, and it was entertaining. I liked it. I feel like both Mr. Show and With Bob and David are shows where it's like it's funny at first, but it gets funnier the more you watch the same skit because of how absurd it is. Like almost every skit gets funnier the more you watch it. So I might have to go back and look at it again, because there is a 5th episode, and it is a like making of documentary. And in that, they replay some of the skits. And when they're doing that, I'm looking at it realizing it's funnier the second time around. So, I'll maybe just leave it at that. But yeah, I'd recommend if you're interested in that kind of a thing. Another one that I had stumbled across, and I've always been interested in the general sense of space travel stuff, especially, the more real it is, the better. Like I took astronomy in high school, and I was fascinated by it. It's only a 1-semester course, so it wasn't terribly long. But when they got to the end of the course, the teachers basically said, "And that's all we know." And I was taken aback, because I was like, "That's it? That's all we know about everything?" And certainly in the 20 years plus it's been since I've been in high school, as a people, we've learned a bit more out there. But there's a documentary on Netflix about the Voyager program. It's called The Farthest, and finished watching that a day or two ago. And I recommend it if you have any interest in it. It's very informative as to how everything was perceived at the time, and how it's still actually sending information back to us. I mean, there isn't a whole lot to glean at this point. 5 years back, they did determine that Voyager 1 made it all the way outside of what we consider to be the solar system, which when I saw that, I was like, oh, I remember that. I remember when that was like, a blip in the news for one day, but kind of forgot sort of what it meant from what I had learned back in my astronomy class back then. But yeah, it's cool, and it kind of sparked me to look around and see what else was there. So I just started watching Cosmos, the Neil deGrasse-Tyson hosted, apparently kind of remake / reboot of an older series that I wasn't really familiar with. So
the one with Carl Sagan?
Probably. I'm assuming. I mean, that makes perfect sense, but I don't know. Just wasn't. I probably had heard of it, but I don't know. Didn't know much. But ironically enough, now that I just started watching that, I see Neil deGrasse-Tyson just tweeted out like a day or two ago that they're going to do another season of it. So I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I can look forward to more of it if I enjoy it once I'm finished with it, because there's a lot more episodes than some of the other stuff that I've been seeing.
Scoop was put in the chat. He said something. The teacher just showed Star Trek the motion picture and called it good. Like, yep, that's all. That's it.
He said, and that's all we know. Goodbye.
There's a big eyeglass case they put Spock in, but that's not in this movie, so you're good.
And then somebody raised their hand. They said, "What about Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan?" And the teacher had already closed his briefcase, and the door was swinging as he was leaving. It was good. The last, just one more thing I'll bring up. I did watch the 4 episodes that are available for the documentary "The Toys That Made Us," which I've been hearing a little bit about, and I don't think it's been on Netflix for all that long, and it's a Netflix-made show. The 4 episodes, the first one is Star Wars toys, second one is Barbie, the third one, I believe, is He-Man, and then the last one is G.I. Joe. And, it's entertaining. Like, if you grew up in the 80s, this is very much a, they'll remind you of a lot of things that you may remember from, your own childhood, as it did for me, anyway. One thing that struck me, though, and, mild spoiler territory here, but
gasp.
I didn't get very far. I do need to go back and finish reading Console Wars, but
yeah, me too. Yeah,
the thing that struck me
fell off.
Tom Kalinske, the more or less main character of Console Wars.
You should follow him on Twitter, by the way. If you aren't,
I saw something recently that somebody had retweeted. And when I say recently, I mean probably 6 or 8 months ago. But
he talks about important, not just hey Sonic, but he has some things to actually say. It's not just goofy. But
stuff. He's in a different industry now, isn't he?
I believe so.
Toys or something. I don't know. Well, anyway, what I'm getting at is in the book Console Wars, they describe him as somebody who was really sought after by Sega because of how he turned the Barbie brand around in the 80s. In this documentary, they don't even mention his name. So I was trying to figure out if they oversold it in the book, his importance, or if they were really just trying to focus on the women who are, or were, I should say, in the in that particular section of Mattel, who were focused on the Barbie brand, because they interviewed a lot of them. None of them still work for Mattel. Apparently, there was a changing of the guard at some point.
It could have been because they wanted to focus on the women, which makes sense.
No, it makes perfect sense.
Maybe he burned bridges. Maybe he peed in the snow on his way out. I don't know.
It could be, because there is one man that they do talk about, and not so favorably, I guess, in the end. But I put it that way because it's sure, if you have any interest, go ahead and watch it. They're only 35 or 40 minutes or something a piece, so it's not a huge commitment. So
it sounds like a commitment.
After watching a few of the episodes, the theme song started to get stuck in my head, because it's like a bootleg G.I. Joe theme song with new lyrics. So it's started to be
the toys that made us. I don't know how to say.
That's basically it.
Oh, okay. I was kidding. But okay.
No, but you're pretty much right there.
You're right there on the money. On the money.
Yeah, and there are 4 more episodes that will come out later. I don't know when, but I'll be back for them, I'm assuming. If they come out at a time where I still have free time to watch, because in about 2 or 3 months it's going to be time to get back to work. The season has started. I am busy.
No more of that.
No more of that. So
gotcha.
Anyway, Aaron, you got anything more to talk about MAGfest or anything?
There's some indies I played. I'm gonna try to put a video together of just some of the ones that had demos available, because many of the really good ones did. One was I'll mention one called Fight Night, first person dungeon crawling. Every time you have an encounter, it's there's a splash screen of you versus whatever the creatures are, and I don't know, it's like Punch Out. So I was immediately hey, I like that. So
do they have a little exercise montage?
I didn't see one. It's not a pink either, but you never know. It's not out yet.
All right.
So it's Fight Night, which is KNIGHT. So it's, in case anyone was wondering.
Are they boxing, wearing full Like plate metal armor or something?
Like gauntlets and, you're punching, so you know how to melee stuff. So, that seems pretty cool.
Gauntlet, like Blue Wizard needs food badly?
Like a gauntlet on, like, one's hands. Like, gauntlet.
Right.
Like...
It was supposed to be a dumb joke.
And we killed it live. Well, I killed it.
Well, it wasn't very good to begin with.
To take it out back. I think he a joke. I did get a chance to. I got introduced to a game at MAGfest. Shout out to Mike J. Called Monopoly Deal. And we played the first game. I'm losing as usual, and somehow I came back and won. So of course, because I almost never win when we play games, I had to talk some trash because you gotta relish those moments, and you don't come very frequently. You gotta strike with an iron tie. So I think after the first game, maybe the second, I went on Amazon, ordered it, and I played several games with the wife and kids. They love it. Like, it's a really fun. Like, we'd rather play.
Now, you ordered it at MAGfest. Right?
Oh yeah, I ordered it on my phone, sitting right there. Like, this game is fantastic.
It's cheap.
It's like $5.
Yep.
And I have not played a game of Monopoly in a very long time. I really had no intention of playing a game of Monopoly because it takes forever. You can play a game, like, once you introduce somebody to the game, like, the first game might take like a half an hour, 40 minutes because you're explaining everything. Once you get over that hump, I mean, it's ruthless. So, it's a very fun game.
It's very quick with two people.
I've only played with, the fewest I played with is 4. Like 3 others. I haven't played with 2, but, that's cool too. So yeah,
I also ordered one for myself, or for us, I should say.
I also am fond of that particular beer. So.
I also enjoyed that particular beverage.
There you go. That's the actual quote, more or less. So yeah, Monopoly Deal, and there's also an Xbox One, probably PS4. There's a digital version that's also $5. I didn't get that one, but
that's also it's Xbox One native, not like backwards compatible.
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. Yeah, $5. Of course, that feels like a game that'd be like more fun with like actual cards anyway, I think, than holding controller.
Yeah, and then looking at people, smacking them in the face with the cards that just the joys of being in person. That's
you can make it rain birthdays.
That's what I'm saying. So, yeah. What else? Took the oldest back to school, so we're getting adjusted back to the new normal of just 4 of us here, which
Did you have any issues with the return trip, like on the road?
No.
Any weather related? Nothing.
No, I mean, we knew it would be snowing. We knew there'd be at least snow on the ground there, which there was. So that worked out. She did get her license while she was home during the winter break. So that's cool.
Oh, right. It makes sense because then, home state issued license, right?
Yeah, so that happened like after the first night when we were out of the house because of the CO. So I think she took it in Annapolis because she heard it was easier there. So we're walking outside to go back to the car to drive it around for the road test. They said, get in your car, drive around the building, and then stop at the stop sign, and then the instructor will come out and tell you what to do. As we're walking out, this guy just asked us, like, "Are you 2 siblings?" I looked at him like, I just paused, like, "This is my child. What are you talking about, man? We siblings, got it." So I'll get back to the actual road test part, but then I'll get back to this because while she took her road test, she drove out of the parking lot with the instructor because parents can't be in there. Plus, I figured she would have done much worse if I was in the car. The same gentleman who asked us, if we were siblings, he's walking out. And I was like, yeah, I'm sorry I gave you that look. I was like, it's just a weird question. He's like, that's all good, man. It's all good. So, he brought up, he's like, he said, look up this name. I'm like, what? He's like, put your phone on. I'm like, okay. Well, it's in my hand. I was like, okay. He's like, look up Percy Harris. I'm like, okay, cool. He's like, that's me. I was like, the boxer? He's like, yeah. He was a pretty good boxer, too. I mean, his last fight was versus Roy Jones in 1992. He lost, but he's a Hall of Fame boxer.
That's kind of neat.
Go figure. Just,
But wait, so the way you're presenting the story, though, I'm listening to it and expecting the reason he's telling you a name has something to do with why he said that, and it sounds like he just like completely flipped the topic of conversation to be like, let me talk about myself here for a moment.
Well, I'm editing. He did say. He said you look young, or you look like you'd be too young, blah blah blah, and stuff I hear. Like, I guess overall it's a compliment. I mean, overall,
in most instances, yeah.
Since the gray hairs are everywhere, but I guess I still have a youthful look regardless. So there we go. I'll take it. It's better than you look old and decrepit. So I'll take it. So,
sir, can I get you a cane?
Sir, where is your walker? But yeah. Well, although I did, a walker was purchased for me. I did use it briefly when I got back from the hospital in October.
Right.
Full disclosure. So we do own there's a walker in our home. I don't, grace of God, I don't have to use it, but yeah, I do own one now. So, but anyway, that's beside the point. So I drive around the building and I park the car, and I'm just sitting there. This woman comes out. She's a little older, and she just starts. She said, and she, I'm getting ready to get out of the car. She's like, "Stay in the car, sir." Okay. She's like, "Roll your window down." So I roll down, my oldest, the passenger's window, and I roll down mine. She just starts barking stuff at me. Left turn signal, right turn signal, hazards. This. I'm thinking, like, I already have a license, lady. Like, what are you asking? Like, she's just barking stuff at me. I'm like, I feel like I'm being tested, not, I'm the parent with the license.
Oh, is she trying to like prove the worthiness of the car before the test?
Yes, but
okay.
I'm not there. I'm not taking the road test though, so it's just weird.
Don't remember that. Like granted, I took my driver's test more than 20 years ago.
20 years ago. I sat on the docks.
The memory could be faulty or different. I don't know.
Yeah, so she just starts barking stuff at me, and I'm like trying to keep up, like, okay, So, that's kind of the tone that was set. So my daughter, so when she finally did say, you can exit the car now, sir. I got out, Mo just, walk around the car. I was like, good luck, because I'm thinking, I was intimidated, and I have my license. So right. I was like, so there's like a little obstacle course thing behind it, so she's just having her go through out there. I'm just sitting on the bench. It's cold. I'm like, I want to see my baby take her road test as much as I can see. I'm sitting on this bench waiting, just watching, not understanding like what they're doing. Like, I'm just watching the car do stuff that just makes no sense. Like, who would do this? Who would do a 3-point turn like into like the side of an island? I don't know what's going on. I'm just watching, my mouth is just agape. Like, sure, makes sense.
Why is the car up on 2 wheels? This
exactly. So, and then she pulls up and says, "Okay, we're gonna leave, the facility, and then we'll come back, and then you can park the car." So they leave. They're gone for like maybe 10-15 minutes. The car comes back. I approach the car. My oldest daughter gets out of the car and just walks past me, like looking like confused, frustrated,
okay,
a little irritable. And I'm like, where are you going? I'm going inside. I'm like, oh, okay. So the instructor is getting her stuff out of the car, and I just look through, I'm standing in front of the door open, the driver's door. I'm looking, and she's getting out. I said, well, did she pass? She goes, oh yeah, she passed. I'm like, well, it doesn't seem like she passed.
Yeah.
So it was just weird. She said that she like fussed at her like the whole time. Like everything she just kept like fussing at her, but she passed. I'm like, well, I said, clearly the woman figured you had, sound enough mechanics to feel comfortable giving you a license. But there were things that she felt you needed to know. Now, part of me felt a little vindicated because some of the things that she told her are things that I've also told her. But of course, when I say it, it's like, I'm being harsh or going to, I'm not yelling, but well, she might call it yelling. She's like, it's the difference of like a stranger telling something versus, your parent telling you. But in this case, she felt just as frustrated with this woman as she normally does with me about her driving. So I kind of felt like, I'm not crazy then.
It's the delivery more so than the message, or not even that?
That's a big part of it. That is certainly a big part of it.
Gotcha.
So, but she passed. So,
hey, and assuming she renews on time, never need to do that again.
Yeah, and because her permit was still viable, we had to pay another $50.
That's good.
So, yeah. So that was good. What else? That was a really long story, wasn't it? Did you see Bright, the Netflix movie?
I haven't. It's there, and it's probably like near the top of what I'll watch on Netflix. But just as an aside, I liked the things broken up more, the episode things. Even the Voyager documentary, I watched it over like 5 sessions. Mm-hmm. Like I'm watching things in little, like 20-minute segments usually. So I don't know, full-length movies, I'll get there, but they're less enticing to me than little short burst things.
Yeah. So, the wife and I, we watched it. I'd heard a lot about it. People hated it. Some people liked it. Some people, on Twitter saying that they liked it despite everybody hating it. I mean, it's entertaining. It certainly.
Is it corny?
No, it's not.
Is it serious?
Here's the thing about it. It starts off clearly like. You ever seen the movie Crash before?
Yeah, but a long time ago.
Yeah, I saw Crash one time. And you could tell, when you're watching Crash, that, clearly they made this movie to make a point, which is fine. But, they made it hey, we're going to get awards for this. It's one of those movies hey, we know we know who this is going to appeal to. We know people are going to want to say that they like this. That kind of thing.
Right. This
movie attempts to, essentially explain things that to anybody who is a thinking person would kind of already understand and doesn't really need kind of cheesy allegory to get it. So it's imagine we're gonna flip things on its ear and we're gonna show you people being stereotyped and people being oppressed and mistreated, but we're gonna change the way they look. So it's different. It's not the same. It's slightly different. But then at the same time, we're also gonna stereotype those same exact people in the same ways they normally are. So it's right. What is the point you're trying to make? So it's the ogres are the downtrodden minority of this movie. But then the movie still has minority characters who aren't the stars in the same stereotypical role. So it's what was the movie? Okay, I'll put it this way: as the movie realized how dumb it really is, it got better because it stopped. Hear me? I know you're laughing, but when you see it, you understand. It's as it took itself less seriously and got away from some of the social commentary, let's be honest, ham-fisted social commentary. It got better because it was you weren't good at that, so stop doing that. Just be a dumb action movie with Will Smith cussing. And once it just really gets into that, it's better because it's not. I felt like my intelligence wasn't being insulted anymore. It was being insulted for other reasons, but it's being insulted because of stupid action movie trope reasons. Not we're gonna make the ogres minorities who are mistreated and misunderstood, all the while most of the black characters and brown characters in this movie are the exact stereotypes that that bother people to begin with. It's just who wrote this? What do you?
I'll have to. I'll watch it eventually.
So, Mike J is joined the chat. What's up, Mike? He can't say what's up, but yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh! I thought you were literally asking.
No. Mike J joined the chat.
I was like, wait, I'm gonna wait until he types something and you'll read it all.
He typed question mark and hello in two separate things. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
So the only thing I know, I mean, yeah, I'd heard some of the rumblings about the reception of it, but I didn't pay much attention. But from the trailers and everything, I started thinking about. You ever see Alien Nation?
It's been a while.
Yeah, there was a TV show, I think in the early 90s, and I saw more of that. I have seen the movie, but the general. I mean, I'm also drawing the connection because there were two cops, a human and an alien, and it's a human and would you say it's an ogre? Is that what they call him?
Yeah, and he's like a sellout to his own people because he became a cop.
Right.
So
I don't think that's exactly what it was with Alien Nation, but I mean, the guy who was playing the alien might have been kind of ostracized a little bit, but I don't really remember. But at the general sense, there was something about it that made me think. I wonder if there's like inspiration drawn from that. But other than that, I don't know. I mean, if Will Smith was not in the movie, if there was like zero names, do you think it would have gotten much attention?
No. I mean, they were wise to get a name attached to this thing.
And apparently they greenlit a sequel already.
Yeah, that's when I told my wife that. She was like, okay. She wasn't like thrilled.
Are we going to have to watch that one too?
Like, we almost didn't make it because she kind of paused it and went, like, what are they doing? I was like, I'm with you. I'm right there with you. Like, it's like, I mean, it's like for everything it tried to say, it was like, but you haven't done it. You haven't gone beyond. It just doesn't. It just doesn't make any sense. But like I said, as it got further and further away from all that stuff, it just became a dumb action movie. Sure. And as better as that, then we're gonna make a point here.
Is it under or over 2 hours?
Under? I think it's shorter than one of these shows, so that much I can tell you.
I mean, I ask in part because like any of these movies that are over 2 hours, this style, like all these stupid Transformers movies and everything that are like 3 hours long, or we're like,
that thing.
It's like, come on, you overstayed your welcome 30 minutes in. We don't need to drag this out for another 2 hours and 40 minutes.
I watched the Everything Wrong with YouTube video about the last Transformers, and I barely made it through that. Let alone
but you saw the movie, right?
No.
Oh, you didn't? Okay.
No.
Yeah, I didn't bother.
The last night just looks. Like I said, I haven't seen it, but just watching the Everything Wrong with thing, I thought to myself, who gave him money for that? like somebody gave him hundreds of like 100 plus something. It's crazy. Like somebody got money to make that thing.
Hey, all the other Transformers made plenty cash.
I mean, the second one, even with its horrible robot pair, it's just like, how? I don't understand.
If that didn't halt,
they could have built like a sky. They'd been better off like building a skyscraper and then dumping it into the ocean and walking away, and filming that. That would have been a better use of the money.
And then just exploding it under the water to watch the plume come out and film it, and you know.
That's the sequel. I mean, that's that's beautiful. So yeah. What else? Saw Coco. That's a really good movie. I enjoyed that. So if you
is that Pixar or is that like?
No, that's Pixar.
It is Pixar. Okay.
That's Pixar. If memory serves, that was really good. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah,
it was not. It was different than what I thought it would be too.
I heard that a lot. Exactly as you stated it. That people didn't think it would be what it was. And I haven't seen it, so I imagine it'll be coming to Netflix or.
Until it gets ripped off when they start their own service, yeah, sure.
Right, yeah, at least for so far. Yeah. There's, like Guardians 2 is on there now. Something I need to get to eventually.
Oh, wow. I've seen it 1.7 times. So.
1.7?
I've seen it a BC Terps number of times. 1.7 at one speed. Let's see. I'm sure people heard about the YouTube thing. Of course, I got the email saying, "Hey, you don't have enough." I meet the number of subscribers, the cutoff, but I don't have 4,000 hours last year of viewing time. So I actually broke it down.
You have 1,000 subscribers?
I have like 1,113, something like that.
See, I don't. Well, I'll let.
That's not a lot, but
apparently it's a lot more than I read some things that people had to say, and it made it seem to me like that was higher than a lot of people expected to be able to ever be able to get to, regardless of.
Apparently, it is. So.
How many views they have.
Oh, yeah, it's funny that overall, I've been on YouTube for like 10 years. I think I'm at like 950,000 total views. So obviously it's a very small channel, but so yeah, it is what it is. But I actually broke it down. Let me do the math here real fast. I think I calculated I had how many of these? I had like 162,000 minutes.
Overall.
Yeah, overall. So if you divide that by 60, then that comes up, that's like 2,700 hours for all of 2017. And the cutoff is 4,000. So, and obviously YouTube is a business. They want to make money. I think it's crummy what they're doing. I truly do. By demonetizing folks. Basically just telling people what you do isn't even worth us keeping you monetized. Because we're going to basically because of the Logan Pauls and other fools of this world who they have slapped, slapped on the wrist eventually, because they never do it up front. They wait till there's an outcry and then they do it. But because of people like that, they're like, well, we want to sell ads. We don't really have to watch or pay somebody to look at what the content is for our monetized ad, for the ad. So we'll just eliminate all these people who are monetized. Yay us. And that's exactly what they're doing. So
yeah, and I don't know how their books work, if like trying to manage that costs them more than anything that would allow
there is a cost to
out.
it. So yeah.
Like I don't know, and I'm not really gonna pretend that I do. But what really struck me, and I plead full ignorance with this, because I'm just not into streamers. Like I don't watch streams of people, like I get the concept of YouTube. Like you can make any style of video that you want within reason. Well, sometimes within reason, but like you can have something that you fully edited and, put a lot of time into in like tightening up what it is and have a very short thing, or you can put up a 2-hour long thing that you just recorded and didn't do any editing, and it's your right to do whatever you want. So I get the concept of there's almost anything you want to find on YouTube, and I find that very valuable, actually, especially when I want to like say look up, hey, how do you what's the best way to say switch out the faucet on my sink. Show me how to change out the shocks on my car, or something, like some informational stuff. I find that to be incredibly valuable. So I've really relied on YouTube for that. But as far as like entertainers, I just pay any attention. So like for the giant community of people who do this, I'm sort of ignorant of it, and I don't know. I guess my eyes were opened a little bit with the outcry of the people who were affected by it. But I don't know. I mean, some of the people, I hope this doesn't sound too harsh, but it seems like some of the people that I was reading, and I don't remember, I mean, they were like comments on maybe a more famous tweet or something. So like I don't know who any of the people were who were saying this, but someone seemed like they had lofty goals, lofty to the point of, I mean, are you planning to have this be like your only way of making money at some point? I mean, I guess that's possible for anybody, but It just seems very unlikely. I mean, again, I say unlikely because I don't know. What do I know? But in the general sense of how often does somebody get to be so famous or popular or whatever that they get enough views that they're literally generating the ad revenue that they're being paid. I don't know.
Yeah.
And if I'm a jerk for saying it, I don't know. I'm a jerk.
And you are. And we all know that.
I'm a jerk. I mean, I know I'm a jerk. Whatever. Just about this.
Scoop pointed out that I probably should be streaming this on YouTube. Yeah, so. Yeah. I hear you. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna reach that goal anyway, so it's fine. It is what it is. So, and then the last thing is, I did a guest spot on the GameesmenRPG with Harley Dan and Gary and Mercedes9. So shout out to those guys. We had a good time. They streamed it. I think maybe that's kind of what is the funny thing is. They had a bunch of technical difficulties, which I mean, that's par for the course. And I don't know what it was about, hey, they had some technical difficulties, but they still worked it out. The show was live. I enjoyed it. Like, I should try. So they were I guess the last inspiration for me to say, hey, why don't we do this show live? So shout out to Dan and Gary.
It can be done.
It can be done. Better than what we're doing, but it can also be done worse. I've yet to see that, but I'm sure it exists.
Oh, we should have that be the aim. Do it worse next time.
So, Mike J says he also agrees with you. So,
about the streamer thing, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I see. I agree as well.
So. I'll sum it up by saying, have a backup plan. if that's where you're trying to go for your career.
Yeah,
don't have that be your only avenue.
Yeah,
for your own sake. Whoever you are. I don't even know who I'm talking to. Well, yes, if at all possible.
And BC Turf just said we're talking slow because he listens to the actual show at almost 2 times the speed. So, yeah, well, nothing we can do about that. We're just being our natural selves. So. Is what it is. All right, we'll jump into some feedback. I know I got more tweets in. I had a hard time. I guess I thought I'd liked everything. Apparently I didn't, so I just grabbed one that I saw. And that's Javon. He says, just finished up Game of the Year Part 2. I don't know about Edith Finch or Life is Strange, but to each his own. I'm playing Breath of the Wild now, and I'm with Tiny. And I'm glad I could say that because Tiny is not here to pat himself on the back. So, although he can listen to this and pat himself on the back at any time, which, yeah. So, and the general comment that based on some of the comments that I did get about that episode were kind of centered around people being somewhat annoyed and just puzzled by how someone could have Breath of the Wild as their most disappointing game. And I was a guest friend of the show, Cyril, Defunct Game, excuse me. But I feel like even if you disagree with him, I do understand that hype can kill anything. So if you're hearing, he did not get a Switch at launch, and he heard about Breath of the Wild, was people saying it changed my life. I left my family to play this game. People just saying all types of hyperbolic stuff. I've narrated the cartridge. Just silly stuff. People just going nuts. So if you're hearing all this hype as the perfect game, is this, is that, and you play it, it might not be your cup of tea. So,
yeah. It could have been for me if I had played more of it. Maybe. I don't know.
It seemed cool. I put, 10, 12 hours in. I was like, this is cool. I'm out.
I will play more of it eventually.
I will say that I will, and then never actually do it. So
I hope. I don't know. I plan to.
So
I purchased the DLC twice.
Why?
Because I bought it for the Wii U, and then I bought it for the Switch.
All the DLC?
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Because I didn't think I was gonna get it on the Switch, and then I did. And
well, I mean, what can I say? I bought it for the Wii U as well. It's sitting in the shrink wrap, but I never intended on actually opening it. So
yeah, I don't think it's really gonna become a valuable item like Twilight Princess on the GameCube. Well, I think they made too many for the Wii U.
I don't see it anymore. Do you?
Oh, what was it? Target the other day had a buy one get one free, I think, and that was included on their website. Like you could just go, yeah, give me that and the Twilight Princess with the amiibo thing for $60. Like boom.
Okay, you can stop twisting the knife now. It's okay.
Well, I paid full price for it, and well, you know, Gamers Club full price.
All right, Scoop says I spent $360 on Zelda. Had I not liked it, it would have been a huge disappointment, wouldn't it? Yeah, that's another way of looking at it. Yes, I guess. Yeah, that's the other side of it. So yeah, I'm glad you liked it. There you go. Can you play the voicemail?
All right, let me make this attempt here because this is going to be a little.
That doesn't sound like confidence to me. I don't.
Well, it'll happen. The question is, will it happen on the first attempt? Oh.
And the answer is it darn well better, right? That's the answer, right? Yes.
Let's find out. If not, I need to change some audio settings, so buckle up.
If I could do it, I would, trust me. If it made sense this time.
You're not hearing it, are you?
No. I'm not even hearing you.
Okay, all right. Let me change the audio and then I'll get it back on.
Mike J said, they printed 1 million copies. It would be too many for all the Wii owners.
It'd be like ET cartridges. They're like, why did we print more copies than consoles? It's that good.
Who thinks of that stuff? Like, what's the dumbest thing we could do? Make more units, make more cartridges than units available.
We'll eventually sell enough consoles that everyone will buy at least a copy.
Yeah, that was plain not thinking.
Well, you know, they made some documentaries about it later on. All right, let me try this again.
I wrote a song about it.
Hey, what's up, GameEnthus crew? I hope you guys are doing well. What's up, Aaron, Mike, and Tiny? This is Keon calling from Baltimore. I just wanted to ask you guys, now that we are in 2018, what games do you think could possibly be delayed, and what are some of the games that you are most anticipated about coming out? That didn't even sound right. What games are you anticipating the most? Thank you guys for all of the hard work. I mean, let me tell you something real quick, brother. That took a lot of stamina for you guys to have done a 4-hour podcast. That was, man, I ain't never heard nothing like it in my life, brother. It was amazing. But anyway, I'm gonna get up off of here, and just so you guys know really quickly, the Kalinske Vision and all of that stuff that I was showing you, the mini arcade ones, they were from 1981 to 1983, all originals. Alrighty, you guys have a good one. Bye-bye.
All right, well, Keon, thank you. Yeah, that is cool. Keon, thank you for leaving the voicemail and clearing it up. I looked at the picture you sent and figured it was the originals. People had jokes, but they were the originals. So I'm curious, like, who had all that, kept it in such great condition, and who blessed you like that? 'Cause that's what's up. But we'll get into that later. I guess to get into your question, I'll let Mike go first. Game should be back up and running. Well, it's life, man. Hopefully it won't happen again. Maybe we should be speaking at 1.7 times the speed. All right, so you were saying
Scoop Moose says the recorded show will probably have Tiny suddenly doing his impression of Aaron.
What would that sound like?
I said, I don't know if you saw, I said that if you weren't listening to this live, then in the recorded
right.
And thankfully edited by you episode would be the seamless transition that nobody would have known anything bad happened.
Well, people know something now, so yeah. So I guess to get back in, you disappointing Keon's question.
So did I get through the delays? I think I did, right? I mean, I don't know if it went over the air. Or not.
I didn't hear the delay, so it didn't happen.
Oh well, I say the ones I'm assuming are going to be delayed are Bloodstained and Shenmue 3. So that's I don't know. I kind of talked for like 30 seconds, so I don't know if any of that went over. If it didn't, it didn't. Yeah, both Kickstarter games that I assume will probably likely have further issues.
Oh, don't forget that other Kickstarter game, that Metroidvania game called Anne, that will probably never go.
Oh my goodness, that's I don't think that's even supposed to come out this year now, right?
I don't know.
The last time the guy even say anything, he was just like, "Yay, I'm still working here."
I'm not even mad. I don't even care. Like, honestly, I just don't even care anymore. Like, how many? There's been like 1 billion Metroidvania games. It's
yeah.
I'm like, you know what? If it comes out, great. If it doesn't, I'm good too. Like, it's, you know. And it looked fun. It just had to come out 5 years ago. Okay, but there's a lot of, you know, after Axiom Verge came out, it's like, all right, that's if you can't top that, what are we doing here? Okay, okay.
Yeah. I mean, did you kickstart it?
I did.
Yeah, so you got a dog in the game.
I do. It was what, $10?
I don't know. I bought their USB SNES style controller.
Yeah, I didn't get that. I saw.
For which I mean, I picked it up at PAX because I think it was PAX. Yeah, it must have been PAX.
I saw how happy you were with it and was like, yeah, I think I'm good.
I liked it at first. After actually using it, the D-pad's not that good. So, much happier to have the 8-bit do.
Well, if you're going to compare it to the best, I mean, it's...
Well, one was like $10 and the other was 50. So I'm
just saying, if you're going to be all nitpicky about it.
But like, as far as like I forget how the question was poised, but like a hype level change or disappointment or what have you with, like, as he was saying it, I started thinking about Detroit Become Human and the new information about Quantic Dream, and I was like,
yeah, that was, yeah.
Maybe I'm less interested than I was before. I don't know. I wasn't super hyped about it anyway, but I don't know. Maybe it won't even come out. Who knows? I'm still just take all the money they spent on it and bankrupt the company and everybody goes home.
I'm thinking like maybe, I think I agree with, what was it? You said Bloodstained and what else?
Shenmue 3.
Shenmue.
I mean, I'm going on, Kickstarted stuff. Kickstarted stuff always gets delayed.
Well, that's
never comes out on time. I mean, come on. I mean, like I mentioned, a while back, like the Road Redemption. The game, it's actually available and not even considered early access on Steam anymore. But at the Kickstarter, Kickstarter, they claimed the console versions were going to be out in 2014. They're not even claiming that's going to be done in 2018 now. No. People have lofty ideas, and then it rarely ever works out.
I was going to say, why don't we add, isn't Anthem supposed to come out this year, too?
I didn't think so. I think that was next year. But I don't know. I didn't pay much attention.
I can't think of anything to add. You know what? Let's just be real about it. What Microsoft stuff is supposed to come out this year? That's going to be delayed.
The Rare pirate game? I forget it. I can't remember which one's which. Sea of Thieves or Skull and Bones?
Sea of Thieves is the rare one. I still don't know really what that is.
I don't know. I'll find out if I play it.
Yeah. So, I don't know. In terms of disappointments, we're talking about delays and what we're anticipating. God of War. I really want God of War.
Oh, you are anticipating and you expect it to come out.
Well, no, I expect it to be good.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. Oh, for positive expectations, I don't know. Just like I said on the previous Game of the Year show, I just there's really nothing that's coming out that's I've really got my eyes on right now. I've got so many games that I'm like, I definitely still want to play this and that and the other one and this other one that I'd started. I need to get back to. Also, I'm poking at old games that came out years ago, which I'll talk about later.
I bet you will. Scoop says, I think Pac-Man 3 has a better chance of coming out this year.
Was there a Pac-Man 2? Like something called Pac-Man 2?
Yeah, wasn't Pac-Man 2 the New Adventures, the one where you would like hit him to go through the environment or whatever? That horrible SNES Genesis game? That was called Pac-Man 2, right?
Oh my goodness,
Wasn't it?
Wow. It could be. I don't know.
That's a terrible game.
I mean, there's so many, between the Miss Pac-Man, Pac-Man Jr., and Baby Pac-Man, and Pac-Land, and Pac-Mania, Super Pac-Man.
The Packening.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Who knows? But yeah, Crackdown 3, that's another thing the Scoop Moose said. I don't know. Are they even claiming that's going to come out in 2018 now?
They have to come. Like, they don't have anything else.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, they can't even hype up the power of the cloud.
I mean,
they could, but what would be the point at this point?
I don't know if, like, when they would announce it, but I think it'll be 3 years this fall for Halo, so it wouldn't shock me if Halo 6 comes out in the fall.
They haven't said anything about that, though.
Yeah, you're right. So,
which doesn't preclude them from releasing it. It's just, or maybe you know what it is though. I feel like maybe they're at a point where, it still sells millions of copies, but it's not what it used to be. So maybe just dropping it on people will just that instant hype. There's a Halo 6 right now, and people just
be like, yeah, you don't even have to buy it. We just installed it to everybody's hard drive.
People just knock down whatever person they see and just run out to go get it. And then get home and realize that they broke someone's leg and they just could have got it digitally when they got home. But it's whatever.
And then they look down and realize it was their own leg that they broke.
But they have no regrets.
No regrets.
I regret nothing.
It was worth it.
So, that's nuts. Yeah. So much as I know.
Oh, so we got through everything Keon wanted to know?
I think we did.
I hope so. If we missed anything, Keon, apologies.
Yeah. We just suffered through, a complete crash, but we got things back up and running. No thanks to Mike here, who
No, I don't do anything.
Who sabotaged it from day one. So let's talk about some games we played. So let's start off with you because you're the person here who's not me. So,
so as mentioned just a few minutes ago, all these games that I've been still wanting to play from 2017, something got me looking at my Steam library, and I said, you know what? I still really want to go back and take a look at Mafia 2. After how much time I put into Mafia 3, how much I like that game. And I can, like, right off the bat, it is nowhere near as good of a game. Like, nothing about that game is as good as Mafia 3. Not the graphics, obviously, because it's much older. Not the pace of it. It is an open world game that there is no reason for it to be an open world game.
Because there's nothing in it, right?
It is completely mission based. It's chapter, like, it literally on the screen will go, all right, go to bed, now it's the next chapter, get up and drive here, all right, now go to bed, now get up and drive. Like, you could just eliminate driving from the game altogether, or just have it be kind of on rails, or like, there's no reason to drive anywhere other than where the next mission is. I mean, yeah, you can go buy some clothes or wander around and look for Playboy magazines or something, which is like, no, there's no reason to, none of that matters. But having said all that, I definitely played these in the correct order, because I would not have cared one bit about the main character of Mafia 2 if not for the fact that I got to know him a little bit, because he was one of the bosses that you hire in Mafia 3. So I have a little bit of perspective, and I kind of want to see maybe a little bit of the origins of this character, and that's what's driving me now. The voice acting is still good. I'll give them that, and for the tech of the day, the faces look pretty good. But it's just not as interesting as Mafia 3 was. But I am, kind of enjoying it, and it looks like it's a much shorter game too. So I'll probably be able to get through it in about another week, I think. If I'm only playing like one chapter a day or something like that, so it shouldn't be too bad. I am still playing Titanfall almost every day because of the bonus they give you for that you can get once a day. So I generally will play like 1 or 2 matches a day.
Titanfall 2, right?
Titanfall 2, excuse me, yes.
Gotcha.
And I played this one match. I just wanted to bring it up because it was such a like an amazing ending to this game. But for those unfamiliar with one of the new modes in Titanfall 2 is Bounty Hunt, which is where you're team-based. You're trying to amass more money than the other team, collect money by shooting the AI-controlled bad guys, and then putting it in the bank at the end of the round. So you retain it once you're able to bank it. The match ends, the timer's ticking down, and our team won by $3. And I mean, out of a couple $1,000 in the in the bank. So I mean, it was that close getting down to it, and I was like, all right, we won. And then in almost every mode in Titanfall is the enemies need to try to get into the other team players need to try to get into the escape ship. So I'm running toward the ship. I've got my Titan. I'm throwing everything I have at it. I can see it's already starting to take off, and my magazine is almost empty. And the very last bullet that I have in the chain gun hits the ship, blows the whole thing up. I kill the entire team.
Nice.
It was fantastic. So I was like, all right, perfect, a perfect way to finish the night for the game. And
just turn it off, never play it again. Just done.
I've played plenty since then, but that was phenomenal. I've also been playing a lot of Halo 5. Again, I mean, for anybody who was shocked by this, I doubt it, but there are still tons of people playing that game.
Oh, I wasn't alluding to there not being. It's just...
Well, I mean, considering it is probably the least popular Halo game, like player base wise, it's still, I mean, there is no shortage of people playing this game in any mode that you want. What enhancements I'm getting out of the X, I really don't know. I don't really see anything. It's been a long time since I played Halo 5 before, so I don't know. Maybe I'm forgetting it wrong. But I also don't have 4K, so if there's any performance upgrades or whatever, I'm not noticing it. But it's still fun. I play a lot of SWAT where you got to get headshots or you're not killing anybody. Very fast paced, so it's still good.
It's still good. It's still good.
Yeah. And I also finally finished the main thing in Mario Odyssey, which it was good. I liked it. Didn't really like much after that. I kind of tooled around in the Mushroom Kingdom for a little bit and stumbled into a couple of things that I thought were needlessly difficult, and kind of figured maybe I don't need to endure too many things that are like just irritating. Like when you refight the bosses and now they're harder. The one that's like the stone statue with the fists.
Yeah, that was easy the first time. But
yeah, it was. At least I thought it was. I just had the worst time possessing the fist. Like I kept throwing the hat at it and the hat would just bounce off. I'd be like, what? I'm aiming for the little jewel, right? Like that's where it's like grabbing it, and I just feel like the camera angle is just so poor because it keeps moving on its own, and that's the problem I always had with Mario 64 is like the camera moves, and then I think I'm going to be going straight ahead, and then it swings around, I'm going to the left, and I jump off of a cliff. It's nowhere near that bad in Odyssey, but it's just annoying enough at times depending on the situation. one reason why it was not my number one for 2017.
I thought it was because you just didn't like fun.
Sometimes it's terrible. Fun sometimes it's terrible.
Oh, okay.
No, it's good. It's a good game. I may go back to it, but I was also kind of happy to kind of just move away from it so I can get into something else. So I did really briefly poke at Horizon Zero Dawn and instantly realized I don't remember how to do anything in this game. I might need to start over.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
So I'll either watch some tutorials or something, or just start over again. But I'm still interested in that. So it's still just like it was when both of these games had just come out. It's a toss-up. Do I want to play Horizon or Zelda? Like, because I don't want to try to do both at the same time. There are too many similarities for me to want to keep track of controls from one to the next or what have you. I don't know. But anyway, that's enough. Aaron, what you been playing?
I wasn't prepared. I don't have a speech. I don't know.
Well, you wrote some things down. I can start reading them for you if you like.
Let's see. I played some Hello Neighbor. I don't know if I ever talked about that on this show. Did I talk about this?
I think you did before, but just what is with the like large marketing of this? I have seen Hello Neighbor toys for sale.
But it got marketed well before the game came out. Like, yeah, I've been in GameStop and seen the neighbor doll, action figure, whatever, plush toy.
Well, like GameStop can sell almost anything because they know their audience.
Well, they can have almost anything available in the store.
Well,
selling it is another.
Right. But I've seen Hello Neighbor stuff at like Walmart.
Wow. Okay. I'm thinking of more of a Think Geek GameStop kind of thing.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So that's when I'm like, is this thing somehow more popular than I ever had any idea?
I didn't think it was that popular.
And the only thing I know about it is the guy holding the shovel.
That's the neighbor. That's him. It's a pretty unfinished game. I played a couple of the alphas before. It was, really early, so you're not expecting a whole lot. When they sent it to me when it was, out on, the console version, I was like, it's done. I'm like, okay, I tried it, and I was like, the girls and I bumped our heads against the wall, like, what are you doing? And once we started learning how to play, it got fun. And they even, like, patched out, like, a shortcut that we had found to get to Act 2, or the second part of the game, because we basically just climbed up to like the side of the roof and jumped off and just opened this door and then found the red key, opened the basement, and that's like the first part of the game done. It took us a while to get to that point, but then they updated it and then put it a satellite dish in your way, so you no longer could just jump. So because apparently that was not what they intended for people to do.
And they didn't want anybody to do it, even after somebody figured it out.
Yep, even after like tons of YouTube videos that people just jumping the same way we did. Not that we discovered it, but but we still, the way you get down there, really, the way you get into the basement isn't really difficult or anything. It's still fun. It's just, it'd be better if it didn't. Like this could be said for all software, pretty much. It'd be better if it didn't come out in a pretty broken state. You can still have fun with it. We still enjoy it. The 11-year-old was really into it for a couple of weeks, but then they kind of went back to their favorites. But it is what it is. It's fun, but it's kind of messy.
It's just totally. I'm stealing a minute back from you here, but have you played Swordy anytime recently?
I've not.
Speaking of broken games,
I remember you really enjoyed that game. It was fun. It was cool.
I liked it at PAX. I played it at New Year's Eve. We had some people over, and I was like, "Oh, let's try this game out. This is fun." That game is so broken. There are error codes for things in the menu. Like,
Ooh.
there's signs. You're like in a little tutorial thing. There's like a sign in the world, and the sign reads data. Like there's a line of code on the sign. Like I don't even know.
Wow, that's
I don't know,
for lack of a better word,
on.
that's not a good sign. I can't think of anything else to say. You know,
it's
that's
bizarre.
all I got.
It's bizarre. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
I forgot where I was. Sort of.
World to the West.
Oh yeah, I put that on. I didn't get a chance to replay it. Oh, Scoop says Aaron's playing it, so that's relatively obscure. Not always. Not always. I did play a little bit of Next Up Hero, which is like a... I don't even know how to really describe it. I don't know. It's like a isometric game. You move with the left analog, and you kind of... It's not a twin stick game because you do aim with the one stick and use the trigger to shoot, but you like resurrect different little heroes without legs because you have no legs either, and you go through these levels and kill all the enemies. I couldn't really get further because although I thought I was in the the early access version, it was still part of the beta that is no longer functioning. So you can only play that first level tutorial part, and then it's done because the rest of it was going to be playing, I guess, online, and they turned all that off, so there's nothing to do. So
exciting. I mean,
exactly.
I assume it'll change.
Yeah, it should shortly, but for the little I played, I liked it. It seemed pretty fun. So I'll definitely check it out again when it is more ready. What else? Oh, I sent you and a bunch of people a game called Stick Fight the Game.
Yeah, I poked at that for a little bit.
It's fun.
It was fun.
Just stick figures and you're just killing each other and getting weapons and blowing the level up.
I played online. I killed people. They killed me.
Yeah.
A lot of really weird things happened. That
too. Speaking of that, the game you sent me, Murder Miners, and this is Miners with an E. Not that that's okay, but that's, you know.
Oh, because I never even thought about it.
Minor.
Audibly, yeah.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, okay. Wow, I hope that wasn't intentional.
That'd be weird, so.
Yeah.
It's fun, and you do
There are
say,
no children in this game. Should we just say that?
It's like it is a Halo ripoff kind of thing, but there's something about it. There's something there.
Well, not only it's a Halo ripoff inside of a Minecraft style.
But is there crafting though?
Well, the look of everything is like block based, and you can destroy the blocks. I don't think you can manipulate them in any other way, but I mean, you can blow up, like you just put holes in the walls and then be like, that guy, I can't see him, so I'll just shoot a hole in the wall and and then snipe him from across the way or whatever.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
So I played some of that. I couldn't get into like excuse me, just the plain death match, but you know, whatever. But the mode I did play was fun. I would prefer to play with like friends.
Sure.
But
I like how when I fired it up, they're like, hey, just a tip. In case you don't see anybody playing online, try again during prime time on a weekend.
Really? Okay.
Like, oh, okay. I guess they want to make sure that people don't buy the game, try to play, find no one, and then request a refund.
They gotta do everything they can do. That's for sure. Yep. Yeah. What else? I played a game called I Want to Be the Cat. That is a goofy platformer where you're a little cat and you shoot projectiles and some pretty interesting bosses. It's not as good as like MagiCat, which is awesome, but it is
Steam?
Yes. But it is fun. MagiCat is just a great game. That thing has to get ported to like everything. It's fantastic. It's MagiCat. So yeah, I forced Jeff to play some of that at the marathon, and he loved it. Changed his life then.
I'm looking at I Want to Be the Cat. Those are some dazzling colors,
aren't they though? Let's see, what else did I play? Some Violet Cycle. Another one of these top-down isometric kind of games. Interesting. It's sort of a platformer, but you get different weapons and abilities. It's an interesting look. Everything is very blocky, and you come up against some interesting enemies in it. I kind of got stuck though, because you get to areas where you can't really jump very far. Like, based on what your loadout is, you can really change the gameplay up considerably, and you can kind of shoot yourself in the foot if you don't make sure you have the right loadout. I don't know. It seems kind of cool. Violet Cycle. Most of the combat is more like more melee, but it's one of those games where there's a ton of different items and things, so you keep playing it, you probably get a whole bunch of projectiles and things like that, so it change the game up a lot.
Just the one screenshot that I'm looking up at it, I would have guessed it's like a Final Fantasy Tactics style.
No. It's no turn-based anything, so.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm sure that means you're out, because you love turn-based games.
Depending, sometimes, yeah.
They're your favorite, admit it.
It used to be. I'm not like a huge fan of some of the more modern ones, but yeah, any game of that style that came out on like PS1 and around that era, I was there.
I hear you. No, I don't hear you. I didn't like those games at all. Well, I did like Mario RPG, but
I still need to play that. Something else that came out in 2017 that I need to play.
That's a really good game. I really enjoyed that one.
Yeah, I've never seen one moment of that game.
You mean play? You've seen a moment. You haven't played it, right?
I mean, I've seen screenshots, but I have never seen the game in action.
Seriously?
Yeah, I need to play it. Yeah,
that's a good game, and I don't like RPGs like that. So it was good. But back then I did. So but I wasn't really into turn-based, but it was very well done, so I dug it. Played a little teeny bit of Bridge Constructor Portal. I want to get back to it. I like the Bridge Constructor series. I think I've reviewed the last two. It's not on everything, but I reviewed the last two, I think, on the Xbox One. But this one adds the Portal license, so you have GLaDOS's voice and portals themselves and stuff like that. So it opens it up to a lot more and a lot of just interesting things. So I gotta spend more time with that one.
I heard it's not very funny.
Yeah, I heard the same. Apparently, whoever wrote Portal himself clearly didn't really. It's also a different type of thing too, because there's a repetition to failing the levels, having to redo them. So there's only so many different times they can come up with something clever to say, I guess. I'm giving them excuses. It is what it is. It's just, I guess it's just not as funny. I don't know. What else? InnerSpace. This does not have Martin Short, Dennis Quaid, or Meg Ryan in it.
I had to look it up.
But Cowboy is in it though. No, Cowboy's in it. I didn't play as much as I wanted to because I was capturing it and I was having issues, so I had to stop because I wanted to capture it as I was playing it. But it's sort of a flight game where you gather items and there's bosses. I think you're trying to map out a world. You're trying to discover everything in it, so you pick up different parts to improve on your vessel, so you can fly faster or turn faster or whatever. But I haven't gotten into it nearly as much as I wanted to. But the little I did play, I really enjoyed it. Look forward to getting back to it. What else? Puzzle Box Maker. There was a game called... what's that thing called? It was for what was it for the 3DS?
Pushmo?
No, it wasn't that one. It wasn't that. I gotta look it up real quick. Oh, this is horrible live radio.
That's the best.
It's the best, Jerry. The best. It's made by B+ BitBoy and BitBoy Arcade.
No.
The BitBoy was like a little red block called Kubi. Kubi's in this game, but Puzzle Box Maker is how can I describe it? One mode is you're just a force scrolling level and all these different pixel colors, and you do a certain up on the D-pad is a color, left, right are different colors, and as it goes, you just you fill in the picture. That's one mode. Another mode is where you fly around, collect these little butterfly things, and it's such a hard game to describe. It's weird. It's a weird game. It's just strange, but there's a charm to it though. It is. I don't even really know how to describe it.
All right.
Because the actual puzzle box mode was a DS game that the developer released by itself, where you just tapped in the different colors and made pictures, which I found BitBoy to be more interesting than that. But basically they took that, the puzzle box part, and you can also share levels and things like that, and then added these modes to the game where like they're more platformer objective based things to do. I'll do a review for it. It's kind of weird, and it's very difficult to describe what it is, but it's like mini games, puzzle creations that you can share, level creations that you can share, because you earn points for like making levels that let you, I don't know what that does. I don't know if that's like just a prestige thing or what, but I don't know. It's kind of interesting. I think it's made by one guy. So, I don't know. More about that soon. And what else do we have here? And last thing is Styx, Shards of Darkness. Now, Styx is the game with an ogre, a stealth game. I really enjoyed the first one. What was it? Styx?
Master of Shadows.
There you go, Master of Shadows. This game is like more of the same. It looks a little better, runs a little nicer. He still has the quips whenever you die. You know, he'll curse at you. Sometimes some of them are pretty funny. You know, he'll make weird references to things. Like I mentioned a reference when I was on the GameesmenRPG show. God, he made a reference to like, there was like a Toy Story reference. Was it Wayne's World? It was something like, I was like, this is like a reference that came out of absolutely nowhere. It's like, wow, okay. Like when you die, he'll say things like, you know, how about, you know, I take the controller and you go and you come in the game and die, you know, a horrible, painful death. And like he'll say like "F you," like you messed up too many times. Like he'll just say these things when you mess up. Like I was looking through a peephole and I put the controller on and do something. I came back and he was like, you know, you're taking all effing day. You know, just I was like, wow, okay. Like what is going on here? So, but anyway, back to the actual gameplay. It's stealth in a world where everybody hates ogres. And that people don't think there you go. People don't think much of them, and apparently, like I guess the fact that you can talk is a big deal. But so, and I don't really remember the first game having like the skill tree and everything the way this one does. But you can, you know, augment like your attacks, your stealth ability, and then some of your other crafting, and you can get items and make traps and. You can barf in people's food, and it's poison. Like you can barf in, like you can just barf up on a fruit tray, and one of the enemies will walk up, bite an apple, and like keel over and die. You know, it's not meant to be like action pack where Styx is just taking on like 8 people at a time. You can always sneak up on someone, kill them, and whenever an enemy sees you and runs up to you, it says parry, and if you hit the blue button, you can parry their attack, but you have to get the timing just right. And if you don't, you're dead. It's like they hit you one time, you're done. So you have to be really confident in your timing, otherwise that's it. So it's one of these games where the first one, I really liked it. It was maybe too long, but I'm okay with that. This is kind of game where you just pick it up, put it, I think I played the tutorial level for like an hour and a half because I was just messing around. I killed, I think, almost every enemy in it, well, close to it. And, enemies are dumb, but they can gang up on you, which is the problem.
Well, apparently they're so dumb, if you vomit on their lunch, they'll eat it anyway.
Yeah, they won't even see it. They'll just pick it up anyway. There's always vomit on my food, so I like it. I like, skulking around in the dark. And like I was trying to do a move the entire tutorial level where I would jump off of high ledges. Sometimes I would die because you take fall damage and you can't just die if you fall down too far.
Right.
But I was trying to do an attack in the air. Like I would jump on an enemy's head thinking, I'll just kill him. And then I realized like I really didn't have that ability at all. I actually purchased it once the level was over. I'm like, why do I keep failing at this? And then once I was done, it was like, oh, now I actually purchased it with my accrued skill points or whatever.
Can you just like land, like jump down and just like crush somebody? You just like fall on them?
Maybe later. I can't do it yet because you're kind of small.
Not even like as an ability, just like your body falls, you're dead, but you happen to just like knock somebody over and they're also injured or killed by the fall.
That might work. I'll give it a shot.
I mean, it doesn't help you any,
but you know, it has some of those, like the Arkham Asylum, the vision where you pressing the right thumbstick and all the important things are highlighted for you and stuff like that. But you know, unlike I really like the Splinter Cell series. I don't understand why they won't bring it back, but it's the kind of thing where if you get in trouble, you can pull your gun out, shoot people in the head, you're good. This game, even if you are stealth killing or regular killing an enemy and someone else thinks up behind you, they just one hit you, you're dead. They also can throw projectiles. One hit, done.
Oh.
So the challenge is there. So
that sounds less fun.
You're going to play it anyway because I said so.
Well, yeah, I mean, like when you're describing it, like, because, you know, we all got the first one for free on, I think, Xbox and PlayStation through, you know, PS Plus. And
I forgot all about that.
But, like, yeah, you just, like the way you were describing it before made it sound like a zany, like, just like a wacky game. You're like this crazy guy, like, climbing all over stuff, barfing all over people, yelling out nasty things. It's like, oh, that sounds like a funny game. But now you're making it sound like a frustrating, difficult game. So I don't know.
Oh, I'm digging it.
I played it once for like the first one for like I don't know, 5 minutes. I remember trying to climb a wall and being like, I'll get back to this some other day.
Yeah, but it's one of those games where like Microsoft had it on sale, the disc, for like $8, but it's like a $40 game. I was like, yeah, no, it wasn't. It was one of those sales. I was like, yeah, I wanted it, but didn't have it. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna grab this. So I went ahead and did that. So yeah, taking that one, and I think that's it for me. That's it. All right, so on our way out, let's just talk about, you watched the Labo video, right? Please tell me you watched it.
I am familiar with, yeah, you know, I guess I did. I didn't see anything live, but I do.
I watched it after the fact. It's the same video.
I guess it's the same video. I saw a demonstration of the cardboard junk.
Okay, I guess that's indicative of how you feel about it, the fact that you called it junk.
I appreciate the creativity of it. I just find it insane that they're selling cardboard to people for more than like $2. Now, I know there's a game. No, I get that there's a game, but the games are usually no more than 60. So, it's 70? I thought it was 80. Was it 70 for the package?
The robot one is 70 or 80 or something. It's also out on 420. People were commenting on that. $69, 420, huh? Okay, all right.
I'm sure that's exactly what Nintendo was thinking.
Calm down. We'll all be here all week. Calm down.
Right. But, I mean, the tired old thing about, you know, young kids, you give them something and they're more entertained by the box than the toy inside.
But it's not a $70 box, though. That's the thing.
Right. So we're starting with that, and I'm watching the videos, like the little cardboard guy with the Joy-Con and everything, and it obviously rumbles to cause something to fall. I'm like, these cardboard joints are not going to hold up to a whole lot of play.
I also don't understand exactly, like, looking at the piano, what is inside? Like, I'm trying to understand, like, what is inside that the Switch is picking up?
I don't know the piano thing. I think it was the backpack, but there was a picture of one that was opened and how it's like a series of strings and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like there's something more complex than just a box with a Joy-Con in it, but it just seems like something born out of like an insane person's dream.
I mean, it made me smile. I thought, wow, like they are a toy company. They're sort of they're returning to their roots.
Yeah,
and I'm sure, like, that's cool.
You know, they've been selling toys for the last like 4 years now or whatever. But those things are finally crafted like as dumb as I think amiibos are in the sense of I don't want to fill my house with a bunch of toys. They're nice looking little statues. Like I give them all the credit in the world for that. They're well made little things. I'm just picturing a guy twisting a handlebar on a pretend motorcycle or whatever. Like that cardboard is going to get junked up in no time when kids are doing this. And then what, are they going to sell it to you again?
And then I thought the same thing with the robot, like the punching. If the string isn't, I don't know. At first I was like, wow, Nintendo. I was like, wow. And when the name came out, I was like, Labo. I was like, wow, okay, Labo, Lego. It's just like, okay, that's.
I didn't even get that.
But, and Nintendo did sell like a bootleg Lego ripoff back in the 60s, 70s, maybe.
Oh, okay. It sounds vaguely familiar, but I don't know.
I thought it looked cool. The price wasn't a shock to me. I'm like, well, they're not going to give it away. But I wanted to see what is inside this stuff. But you're absolutely right. It's cardboard. It's not durable. It's cardboard. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's,
yeah.
For $70,
I'm not going to buy it. I mean,
I don't think I am either.
The building aspect of it actually intrigues me a little bit because it's, you get a thing and you put it together like a model or a Lego set or something like that. And that's cool. I like that. But I don't want the stuff in my house. And 2, I don't think it's going to hold up very well to children especially. And 3, it's cardboard. It's like a fire hazard. Like, here, build a whole bunch of cardboard stuff in your house. Like somebody drops a candle or something, your house is gone.
Well, you could say that about anything, though. I hear you. Well, Scoop just said, same peripheral junk as the Wii, but cheaper to produce, so higher profit margin. Yeah, $70 for some cardboard. And obviously thought went into how you take the patterns out and fold it up together. And I just wonder how much flexibility there is. Like how much can you do beyond like the 4 mini games that come with the software? Like how much more is there for you to discover? You can play these chords backwards. Like that's not really what else you got. So it seemed cool. I don't think it's for me. And the ironic part of this is none of the marketing initially for the Switch was to kids. But clearly, this is aimed at the kids. So it's like I mean, I don't know how many multi-Switch households there are, but I would suspect that like people have a Switch, maybe a couple of controllers.
Sure.
So let's say my kids watch that and they're interested. I'm not gonna just hand them the Switch and have them run off and go do this. I mean, obviously, it's that people you do it together. That's cool, but I don't It's neat and all, but I'm waiting and seeing.
Like the one where you place the little. Sorry, I'm starting to lose my voice here. I think remnants from the cold, but like where you put the tablet in a little holder in the cardboard. I think it was the motorcycle one. Mm-hmm. It's like these little slots get worn out, and then the Switch like falls into the box or something. I don't think these things have any durability. And that would concern me a lot if I was in a position to be buying them for a household member.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, if they were just like sheets of like a durable plastic, that you could. There's got to be some other material that's barely any more expensive that would just hold up a little bit better. I'm saying this from like. There just has to be something better. Like, I don't know what any of that would be.
Yeah, it's a neat idea.
I mean, I did.
It's biodegradable.
Yeah, I had this like thought of like you're spending money on cardboard while at the same time you're folding up other cardboard that's in your house into a recycle bin, and then complaining about that. But at the same time, you're probably also throwing plastic bottles in the recycling bin while buying plastic other things that you're not. So it's not necessarily just you're paying for trash. It's it's not that, but it's
you're enthusiastically paying for trash.
There's just something ironic about I'm paying for this piece of cardboard while at the same time folding up this other piece of cardboard because I don't want it.
That is throw up that box. Well, wait,
right?
What? Yeah, it's interesting. And the fact there's two of them. They seem a little pricey for. I know there's software that is included, but they're just dipping their toe in to see, hey, how will this thing sell?
When I did a search for, I think I specifically searched Reddit.
Labo.
I wanted to see what people were talking about, and the one thread came up is that there was what turned out to be some sort of mistranslation or just misstatement from a French magazine, I think, stating that Nintendo would give out the patterns at no cost, and anybody could make the from their own cardboard. Somebody could just take their own cardboard and make it, and people were like ecstatic about this. They're like, "This is a great move." Yeah, and then they as soon as they corrected it, all the comments after it's like a complete about face and in people's I guess feeling about how Nintendo's handling it. So it was kind of amusing.
The enthusiasm drains from their bodies.
Right.
Yeah. So, I will get into Nintendo Direct stuff, but I don't know. It happened. There's some ports. Dark Souls is coming. Yeah.
I could buy it again and still not finish it.
I planned. No, I'm not doing that. Yeah, it's a thing. So, was it Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze is coming?
I mean, I did rebuy Zelda stupidly, but I really don't want to rebuy more Wii U games that I own.
Well, this is pretty much it. Like after this, they're done, right? Like,
I mean, I think they'd be nuts to not put out the Mario games.
Oh, well, yeah, okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, outside of that one.
I mean, I don't know if they have any plans to or not, but I mean, Mario 3D World alone, I feel like more people should have the ability to play that. But I've already played it, and if I want to play it again, I'll play the copy I own.
Yeah,
I'm not getting rid of my Wii U.
Yeah, I might just emulate that on my PC. So even my Wii U is hooked up, but I doubt the gamepad is charged. I'm sorry, the Wii U gamepad. All right, let's get out of here. All right, shout outs, plugs, or anything you want to?
I mean, as I usually do, encourage people who are eligible to donate blood and have their pets spayed and neutered. But yeah, I don't know. My voice is fading, so I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, mine started. I got like a nagging cough. I don't know how. You must be contagious, like through the internets. I don't know how that's happening, but yeah, if Tiny was here, he mentioned something about Extra Life. Sign up. The GameEnthus team is still existing, and there's still the need is still out there, for funds for children's hospitals.
I also endorse that particular charity.
Yeah, I can't even say like the snarky anti-Nixon part of it because it just doesn't make any sense. So, yeah. But yeah, thank you to the people who stopped in for the first live stream. We'll see where this goes. I'd like to maybe just have a little more a little more impressive next time, but it's a start. Some people did stop in and say hello, and we appreciate it. It's good to know people out there who want to listen. That's always encouraging. Thank you, Mike. You wanted to get to bed early, and you just might if I stop
early enough. Yeah,
earlier than usual. So yeah, if you want, like I said, if you want to leave feedback for the show via Twitter, just use hashtag GENTHUS podcast, all one thing. So Genthus podcast. There you go. Just use the hashtag and I'll search for it, scoop them up, and then make sure I do a better job of listing comments and things. Scoop also asked me, so Aaron, out of all the games you mentioned, which one do you not consider to be obscure? Hello Neighbor. There's a toy in GameStop, so that one that can't be obscure, right? There's a toy for it in Walmart, right? Is it okay?
I believe that's where I saw it. Yeah.
Yeah. He said impressive turnout. Most of the hosts even made it. Yeah, exactly. Thumbs up. But yeah, if you want to leave us feedback via Twitter, hashtag GameEnthus Podcast. I've already said that, but podcast at GameEnthus.com. Any one of our Twitter handles at GameEnthus.com or Aaron at GameEnthus.com. You want to reach us via email. Voicemail line is 202-573-7686. We don't get that many voicemails. Normally they're from Keon. We appreciate every single one we get. So you want to hear your voice. If you send a voicemail, your voice will be on the show. We will not, unless you say something completely crazy, you'll be on the show. So, I mean, for the most part. So, yeah. So that's it. Happy New Year. This is the first show of the year. Yeah, it's past the middle of the month, but it still counts.
Well, it's the first, yeah.
February 1st, where you get punched in the throat for saying it. We're not there yet, so. And I'm still working on my Game of the Year video. I'm so close to having it done. I know it's like old news by now, but I don't care. I'm still going to put it out there for like 3 people to watch, but I'm still enjoying making it, so that's what matters. And that's it. Lord willing, we'll be back next week. I already have a guest lined up. I'm not going to tell you who it is. But yeah, that's it. Ending is always the weird part. How do you end stuff? You just all idealer. I don't know. That's
oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What he said.